Kevin is on, if you want to ask any questions too.
You can go ahead.
All right, call to order. Zoning board meeting here. So this, we're going to make the motion to read.
Yeah, I think first of all, sir, your name?
Matt Owens.
All right, and Matt Owens should be the only matter on your agenda tonight, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, Matt, do you desire a rehearing?
Yes.
Okay, so I think a board member has to make the motion to rehear. Obviously, you gotta have a second, and then you have to have a unanimous decision for the rehearing.
I'll make the motion to rehear.
All in favor?
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so we just jump right into the
You could, I mean, if it's
part of the,
public hearing type of thing,
Public hearing, we don't need to read the public hearing itself, since it's, the same, it's a rehearing. If you want to, I'm happy to.
yeah, why don't we just do that so we cover all the bases?
You got it. Notice is hereby given that the Village of Homer Zoning Board of Appeals will meet in person at the Town Hall in Homer, located at 31 North Main Street on December 14th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Consider the following pursuant to the current Village of Homer Code of Ordinances. Appeal 504, 53 Copeland Avenue, Homer, New York. Requesting a variance to remove a garage and replace it with a new one in the same location, less than the required setback.
Thank you. Just to kind of quickly go back, so we'll start with an explanation, no question, the owner. I think we know what you're looking for, but if you could just give a quick.
Tear down the existing barn and rebuild a pole barn in its place in the same footprint.
And so I think it's not on here, but typically we have space for a voice from the public. Are you here to speak on the matter? Just here to witness, just to see democracy in action.
yeah, can't get in.
No, it's the monitor itself. It's not that-
All right, is there anyone trying to get in?
No,
It was just
Kevin's
Kevin.
the only one on. Kevin can unmute himself if we'd like.
And I think the only thing too that you probably should know, and I think county planning sent us back with no
Yeah, no issue.
no issues. And then I think, wasn't there one gentleman that wrote a letter in support?
A neighbor who was, in support of it directly to the, whatever, just up
Scott,
west.
adjacent to me,
Right, Jay.
right, who it mostly affects.
The nearby property.
We live across the street.
Very good.
Okay,
So that is in the record from the last meeting, but we need it again.
well, I think it's in the record now.
Yeah,
So it's part of the record. And still the comments that are there in the package too.
So I think you can discuss it, safe to go through the 5 things again, and then go from there. Did we do a seeker?
it was a type 2 action.
Yeah.
There's
No,
no-
then was it a type 2? I can't remember. Was it type 2? I think I told you it was a type 2.
I think it's type 2, no,
Type two,
no secret required, yeah. Any questions from board members?
Can you articulate just what the differences in this application from the one at our last meeting? And you can just know what the difference is.
It's a rehearing.
It's just a rehearing of the same.
The same thing,
Same.
with no new information, nothing.
Well,
different?
do you have anything new you wanted to add?
I'd spoken to Kevin immediately the day after, and he said that's where he brought up the question of going by insurance and getting approval from the fire department or what have you, from 2 weeks ago. I didn't.
And that's not really the purview of the ZBA board.
That's what after speaking with Kevin that
So you're just operating with what you had before.
So do you have any questions for Kevin or? Ken? I don't know.
Is Kevin on?
Kevin's on.
Kevin's on a Zoom, it's flickering, but he can hear
It's
you.
glitchy, but he can hear.
Kevin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Kevin, do you have any issues? This is Fran. Do you have any issues with this application?
So what I would like to provide for information to the board is the regarding the location.
Well, it's on the computer.
So go ahead and speak up. Can you hear me, Kevin?
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Apologies, Sean.
I think he said he didn't have any objections.
Can you hear me okay?
What I made out of it.
Am I broadcasting okay there for everyone?
I'm not a big thing here.
No, a lot of us aren't. I'm electronically challenged. It always makes everybody look strange when you zoom in on, I don't know.
Half my job is.
Are you folks able to hear me okay?
I think we can
Yeah,
still do the balance
sorry.
questions.
I can tell you this from the record. I don't think you had any problems. I think it's a fair statement.
Had some kind of problem.
Hey, Dan, can you hear me okay? Hello? Can you hear me, folks?
Now we can hear, sir. Sorry about that.
There you
Yeah, we can hear. Keep going.
go.
Okay,
So
can you
for
folks hear me
five
now?
Questions. Number one, will there?
Yes.
Yes. Would there be an undesirable change in the neighborhood character or a detriment to nearby properties? I would say no, it's no change. Number two, can benefit be achieved by means feasible to the applicant? I would say no, no reasonable means. Tearing up the pad and moving it to the middle of the yard seems not
A
feasible to
little
me.
expensive.
So I would say no. Everybody,
That's no.
It's like a split question. Can it be done? Yes. Feasible is.
I think that feasible is a key part of that sentence there.
Right. Yeah.
Number three, is the requested variance substantial? I would say yes.
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 It's quite a bit closer to the line than is in the code. Number four, would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood?
No.
No, it's no change. And number five, has the alleged difficulty been self-created?
No,
No, it's
either way.
yeah. 3 no's and a yes. Okay. So I think we're kind of back to the decision. I mean, my mind is still the same that he bought the property with it in this configuration. His neighbor bought the property in this configuration. They're both okay with it. No one's making any objections to this configuration. And it's just an improvement to the property. If it was a new application, I would be probably inclined to decline it. But given that it's not making any change to the neighborhood, I think it's pretty straightforward that it's an improvement to the village, and I'm in favor of it.
You got some neighbors here that don't have any problem with it either, so is the whole point, so, you know. Have we
My-
done- have we
Yeah,
done
my
some of this?
concern is that it's a village issue, it's a code issue, not the applicant's issue.
Agreed.
And so if there is any mechanism for us to refer this to whoever is looking at the village code to update it, we often come in to the face of properties that are out of compliance with the existing code. And the existing code was put into place a very long time ago, and particularly setbacks, the reason for them in history is for fire equipment. There's new fire equipment now, which I started thinking about and looking into, that can, one, accommodate different spaces than the old equipment that was in use at the time the codes were put together. Plus, Homer has a lot of properties that are far out of compliance with the code that we've got. And I know a group is looking at revising the code. And I think if we can refer to them to look at both some way of accommodating existing situations of property, plus building into it what new fire equipment exists and what it can do that may not require the same kind of setbacks. And so for this one, I'm in agreement, we should go ahead with it.
I could tell you this. It's interesting that you brought it up. My understanding today is Thursday. On Tuesday, we were advised that the code has been completed and is on its way for comment, the new code.
Where does
So-
it go for comment?
Well, we gotta get it first.
No, we've
Yeah, I
we've
mean,
gone through,
we've got it.
the whole legal analysis. The code book is here. It's gonna be put up on the website. The board of trustees are going to adopt it. But even with this, not to steer your thunder, Fran, a new code that's going to be, that I'm looking forward to putting into motion next year after the original code book now is adopted with the changes that we've added. Basically a non-conforming structure code law, since, as you say, there's so many compliant structures, and you really can't account for just the 1 foot setback or 3 foot. You might as well just say, if you're building within the exact same footprint, there's no need for a variance. So they will just go to the code officer.
Will the proposed new code go to both the planning board and the ZBA to review?
Not to review, you'll get new copies.
But there's,
And you can make suggestions.
It's rather dismissive.
but there will be a local law that has to be passed as subject to a public hearing.
Sure, everything's subject to public hearing
So there's
to adopt it. And the review board for the code, which was ongoing for nearly 3 years, maybe a little bit more because of the pandemic and various other things. We had a member of one of the boards on that review committee. It was myself, it was a trustee, it was the code officer, and it was the chairman of the planning board committee. So that's who reviewed it as far as for all the editorial changes and legal analysis that we went into.
This review of the code book's been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, and we're basically at the end now. We have, the code book is done. Now the board of trustees just has to adopt it. Moving forward, any local laws written by Fran, any other things that we need, we're gonna start being added to that code.
They're in the middle of a lot of other things right now with budget and everything, so, you know. I make a motion to approve the variance.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pass unanimous.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sorry for the delays.
I don't think there's any other matter.
No matter, you gotta adjourn though first.
Thank you for coming. Thanks, Adam.
Motion to close.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
You got
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Did you hear that, Kevin?
And can you hear me?
Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
Hear me?
That's a shot.
Basically, or I mean.